Welcome to Cupcake Chats. It's your boy Jzon Azari, and today we're gonna discuss a video that has become very viral on the internet, and it concerns a very opinionated response, depending on how you view the work of others. And what I mean by that is, some people feel like when you pay for something, that's where the dollar line stops. But for other individuals, such as myself, um, individuals feel like, hey, here's a little extra because you did such a great job, or you really helped me out when I was in an inconvenient spot, and I appreciate it. And it's a token of appreciation. And today we're talking about tipping. And I have never really been in a position where I had to be a waiter, or my job's income dependent on tips and stuff of that nature. However, I have plentiful colleagues, friends, family members, associates, regulars that I see when I go to certain restaurants when I do choose to eat out. Like, their livelihoods are dependent on their wage, which is already low, if not feasible due to the inflation of America's greedy economy. But they really make their money off of tips. And in the visual, even though it has now come out to be a staged act, the lesson at hand is, what are your thoughts on tipping? And do you tip? How do you determine a tip? Um, what all goes into the factors of somebody earning a little more? And for me, in that visual, it was a lady that appears to be employed by, I want to say, Instacart, because of how the order was structured. Well, she was unloading a $400 order out of her vehicle, and she's a black woman, and her trunk, I don't know what her inside of her car looks like because they never showed that, but the trunk of her car was very at capacity, even with her removing some stuff. So she definitely did a good job from what I was seeing, and she had it all stacked out, laid out, organized when she took it out her vehicle, which most people aren't doing that. Let's just be honest. And in the left hand of the video, there is a white woman who appears to have a husband in the background that is adding extra commentary, and she's going on about the whole situation about not tipping on a $400 order. Now, to me, in my head, if you are in food service, and I know because when I do go to certain restaurants, if you eat over a certain amount, or at some restaurants, that is already factored into the gratuity. Like, you already are paying a tip because of the restaurant, uh I guess, the rules or regulations or whatever. Like, it's already factored in. So anything else is an additional tip. Like, because some places do that now because people are so passive with tipping. But the whole entire matter of fact of this was, the lady and her husband had a $400 order. I'm going to say that again for you, a $400 order. Like, you're telling me you can't pay 10% or 15% on $400? Like, that's not even much if we're being 100% honest, because it's kind of ludicrous. And that's all I'm going to say. Because if you've already spent $400, what's another $40? Like, what's another whatever you decide to give? Like, there's no calculator. I mean, they always give you the breakdown of you can pay 10, 15, 20, 25% tip. And there's always the option for no tip, and there's always an option for customize your tip. You give whatever you want or feel, is suitable for the time and the service that you received. Lady goes on to repack up the order because she wasn't getting tipped. Was she right? No. However, in these times of lower paying jobs or jobs like trying to nickel and dime you, even though you're doing your job, I got where she was coming from because I posted this visual on my Facebook page, and a lot of individuals had a lot to say about, well, she knew it was a tip optional job, and she knew what she was getting herself into. Like, it's not the fault that the lady had a $400 order, and yeah. That's all fine and dandy. However, I tell people, envision yourself in this position. Let's just say you didn't have the job you had. You didn't have the spouse or the family support that you had. Because we don't know any backstory, even though this is staged from what has been flagged on social media. Um, just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And now we're just rolling up on holiday season because it's about to be spooky Halloween season in like a week. But how do you think you are able to pay certain bills if your main job is not covering it? And we're not saying your main job is like a regular job. Let's just say you have a nice job. Cost of living has skyrocketed in the last couple of months, and it's not going down anytime soon. From the people I know that do mortgage rates, from the people I know that do all type of monetary type loans for corporate America, like the next couple months are going to get even worse. So for the individuals that were saying in the comments, maybe she needs to get a better paying job. Maybe her better paying job ain't paying enough. I'm just saying. And then on top of that, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So let's be a little sensitive here, because you can lose your job tomorrow too and have to Uber. That's what people fail to realize when they're commenting on these type of visuals. However, I digress. But going into this is like, oh my god. Um, Tip the lady so she can go on about her day. I mean, she did a great job. Because for me, I'm gonna tip you regardless, whether you did a good job or a bad job. Because one, I don't know what kind of day you're going through. You may have given me bad service because you're having a bad day. That unfortunately it affects my order, but I still don't know what you have going on. Is my tip gonna be a large tip? Probably not. Because I'm not gonna reward you for giving me bad service, even though you're having a bad day. But I'm not gonna tip. Catch there. Like, just because you provided me bad service doesn't mean I'm not gonna tip you. Cause I just feel like you're just adding to whatever that person's day is throwing at them. Let's just say somebody in their family is in the hospital and they gotta help cover the bill. You don't know what they're doing this job for. Like, maybe they're doing this to get money for their kids for the holidays, like I said, which are coming up. People don't look at it from those different viewpoints, and I'm an individual that looks at things from all angles. But some individuals, they live a privileged life in their nice little glass house, and things just don't affect them. However, on Cupcake Chats, I am very transparent. And people that fail to be transparent, let us pray. But yes. So yeah, we go back to the video. The lady, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this back to the store." Da 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 da. Like, and we're not even going to dissect that this is a white versus black issue because there's so much else going on in this video. But yeah, then the husband chimes in, is like, "Yeah, how do we know you're gonna take it back? How do we know?" And the lady, she was like, "Well, you'll get a receipt, you'll get a refund, and all this other stuff." She says, "Cause yeah." I'm gonna take this back so you know how it feels, because somebody else is gonna do the same thing I'm gonna do, and that is the point I want to get to, because you might not tip. Cool, that's fine, but the way people are set up these days, I've been in Ubers going to destinations, and a person's like, "Yeah, I'm not taking that. Yeah, I'm not taking that. Yeah, I'm not taking that," because one, the fare is already not enough, and two, if you have a history of not tipping, I'm not for sure if it shows up through the app. But yeah, they're not gonna do it. Like you're hurting yourself because a lot of people depend on that tip. And I've had several drivers tell me that the price that you get in the app is not even a fraction of what they get. They're literally working off a tip. Like, let's just say your ride is, I don't know, $30. They might get $5 or $6, like plus whatever the tip is. And that's why tipping is essential. So we're gonna just let this episode fade on out. But for the individuals that feel like tipping is not imperative to people's pockets, I am here to tell you it is. Tipping matters. Even though it's optional, so is the service. You don't have to use the service. Even though you say tipping is not something that you have to do, using that service isn't either. And yeah, this is your boy Jzon Azari. And if you go out to a restaurant, if you run into somebody that just gives you a over and beyond service, please show them how much you appreciate them. Words are kind, but money speaks, and it always will. And that's it for today. Y'all enjoy your week.